Hello everyone, in this lecture we will discuss about the next component of permanent way, that is ballast. So ballast is the granular material, usually broken stone or brick or concrete or gravel or sand, placed and packed below and around the sleepers to transmit load from sleepers to formation and at the same time allowing drainage of the track. Okay, so here you can see this is called as ballast. Okay, you can see here this ballast these ballast are broken stones or aggregates or gravels. Okay, and these ballast are used generally to transmit the load from sleeper to formation and for the drainage purpose of the track. Okay, and also it provides a suitable foundation for the sleepers and also hold the sleepers in their correct level and position, and also the lateral stability of a track depends upon the ballast. Okay, so here generally the ballast are the broken stones or aggregates or you can say gravels. Okay, so these are used generally to transmit the load from sleeper to formation. Okay, and for the drainage purpose of the track, and also it provides a suitable foundation or suitable bed for the sleepers, and also it holds the sleepers in their correct position. Okay, so it provides lateral stability of the track also. Then next is requirements of the good ballast. Okay, so the first point is it should resist crushing under dynamic loads. That means it should be able to withstand hard packing without disintegrating. In other words, it should resist crushing under dynamic loads. Okay, then the second point is the designed depth of the ballast, means the depth of the ballast which we have designed for the road pavement for the railway pavement, that should be able to distribute the weight of passing trains on the formation underneath uniformly. Okay, then the next point is it should not make the track dusty due to powder formation under dynamic full load. Okay, so it should not make the track dusty or muddy due to powder under dynamic full loads, but should be capable of being cleaned to provide good drainage. Okay, if the track will be dusty or muddy, then the drainage will not happen properly. Okay, as if the fine percentage will increase, then there will be more resistance to the flow of water or flow of anything. Okay, so there will be large friction to flow. Okay, so for that purpose only it should not make the track dusty due to powder formation under dynamic full load. Okay, then the next point is it should be reasonably elastic. Okay, the next point is it should have resistance to abrasion and weathering. Okay, so it should offer resistance to abrasion and weathering. Abrasion means wear due to rubbing action of particles with each other, and weathering means cracking and shattering of materials due to variation in temperature, moisture and freezing. Okay, so non-porous particles of ballast are usually more durable due to better resistance against abrasion and weathering. Okay, then the next point is it should be non-porous to provide durability to the ballast. Okay, so non-porous particles of ballast are usually more durable due to better resistance against abrasion and weathering. Okay, so it provides good durability to the ballast. Then the next point is it should hold the sleepers laterally and longitudinally under all conditions of traffic, especially on the curves. Okay, then next point, it should be able to facilitate easy drainage to rainwater. Okay, so I have already told that the ballast are also used to provide good drainage facility of the track. Okay, so it also so the ballast also should not produce any chemical action with rail and metal slipper. Okay, and generally the size of stone ballast should be 5 centimeter for wooden slipper. If we are using the wooden slippers in the railway track, then the size of stone ballast should be 5 centimeter. Okay, and if we are using the metal slippers, then the size of ballast should be 4 centimeter, and in case of turnout and crossovers, the size of ballast should be 2.5 centimeter. Okay, and another thing is the ballast should be available in nearby places so that it reduces the cost of transportation or cost of supply. Okay, so it should also fulfill the requirements of quality, amount of traffic, life and maintenance cost. Okay, so insert the ballast should be such which fulfills the characteristics of strength, cleanability, durability, drainability, economy and stability, and also is workable with specific size with no harmful effects on rails and slippers. Okay, so that type of ballast will be called as good ballast or ideal ballast. Okay, then next come to function of ballast. So the first point is it provides a hard and level bed, and as I have already told, it provides a suitable foundation or suitable bed for the slippers. Okay, the next point, it holds the slippers in proper position during the passage of moving trains. Okay, so it holds the slippers in position and prevents the lateral and longitudinal movement due to dynamic loads and vibrations of moving trains. Okay, the next point, it transmits and distributes the moving load of the trains from the slippers to the formation uniformly. Okay, so it transfers the load from the slipper to the subgrade and then distributes it uniformly over a large area of the formation. Okay, so below the ballast, first rail, then the slipper, then ballast, then below the ballast subgrade is there, then below the subgrade there is a large area of the formation. Okay, so ballast helps to transmit or to distribute the load from slipper to subgrade, then to the formation. Okay, the next point is it protects the formation surface from direct exposure to sun, rain and frost. Okay, the next point is it provides a proper drainage to the track, keeping the slippers in dry condition. Okay, so it provides good drained foundation immediately below the sleepers and helps to protect the tough surface of the formation. Okay, so this is generally achieved by providing coarse and rough aggregates with plenty of voids. Okay, then next is it obstructs the growth of vegetation at the track formation. Okay, the next it provides proper super elevation to the outer rail on curves. Okay, so it provides easy means of maintaining the correct levels of the two lines of a track, that is level in straight portions and correct super elevation on curves and for correcting track element. Okay, the next point, it provides an easy means for correcting the unevenness of the track. Okay, then next it provides the lateral and longitudinal stability to the track. Then it protects the sleepers from capillary moisture of formation. Okay, so it allows for easy drainage with minimum soakage, and the voids are generally large enough to prevent capillary action of the formation. Okay, the next point is it provides the media for absorption of all impacts caused by rolling stock. Okay, so these are some functions of the ballast. Okay, then next come to types of ballast. So keeping in view the availability, workability, durability and strength of the ballast, different materials have been used as ballast. Okay, so the most important types of ballast materials which are used in are broken stones, gravels, sand, morum, cinder or ash, or and brick bats, or we can say brick ballast. Okay, then conquer ballast earth. Okay, so these are some materials which are used as ballast in the railway track. Okay, so we will now discuss about this type of materials one by one. Okay, so the first one is broken stone. Okay, so this type of ballast is the best material. Okay, this is the best material for the ballast, and almost all important tracks are provided with stone ballast. Okay, so broken stone satisfies all the specification and requirements of a good ballast. Okay, so the best stone for ballast is generally non-porous, hard and angular, which does not flake when broken. Okay, so this quality of broken stones are very suitable to be used as ballast. Okay, so the broken stone should be non-porous, hard and angular. Okay, and for example, some example of broken stones are granite, quartzite, hard stones, limestones. Okay, so these are some examples of broken stone. So if in India, okay, if anywhere such hard stone is not available, then we can use the sandstone and limestone also. Okay, so you can see here these are broken stones which can be used as ballast in case of railway track. Okay, so this is all about broken stone. Then next come to gravel. Okay, So gravel is also suitable for use as ballast and is used in large quantities in many countries. Okay, so this is obtained. This gravel is generally obtained either from river beds or from gravel pits. So the smooth pebbles are broken for use. Okay, so generally if there are any smooth pebble, then they are broken for use as ballast, because if they will not be broken, then they may liable to displace the slipper due to smoothness of its particles, and the packing may not hold. Okay, and the packing may not hold. So because the particles roll down the section due to vibration and packing, and the slippers get loose. Okay, for this purpose, for this reason, the smooth pebbles are generally broken for the use as ballast in case of railway track. Okay, as the particles roll down the section due to vibration and the packing under the slipper may lose. Okay, so here you can see these are gravels, which is used as also ballast in case of railway track. Okay, and it has also excellent drainage property. Okay. Then next is cinder. Okay, so generally cinder is the residue of coal. Okay. So this material is available in large quantities on railways from coal being used in locomotives. Okay, so these are residues of burnt coal, okay, which are used in locomotives. So it has excellent drainage properties as it is very porous. Okay, so it is cheap and is largely used in sidings but can't be used for main lines. Okay, so it can be used in sidings but can't be used for main lines. Okay, as it is very soft and gets reduced to powder under wheel loads and makes the track very dusty. So for this reason only this can't be used for main lines. Okay, so it is but it is excellent for station yards and for footpaths, particularly in rainy weather, as it does not retain water and is not slippery. Okay, so it is better if we use the cinder in case of station yards or for footpaths, because it does not retain water and is not slippery. Okay, but we can't use this type of material for ballast in case of main lines, as it is very soft and gets reduced to powders under wheel loads and makes the track very dusty. Okay, but the great drawback of these materials is its corrosive quality, and therefore it corrodes steel slippers and foot of the rails. Okay, so this is one of its main disadvantages, that it has corrosive property. Okay, corrosive quality. Then next come to next type of metal, that is sand. Okay, so sand is a reasonably good material as ballast, as it is very cheap and provides good drainage. Okay, and sand ballast also produces a silent track and has been found to be particularly good for packing of slippers. Okay, so the great drawback of this metal is its blowing effect due to vibration. Okay, so the sand gets into the moving parts and on the track and causes heavy wear. Okay, so the maintenance of the track is therefore very difficult. Okay, so this is its advantage, main advantage, that it has blowing effect due to vibration, for which the sand gets into the moving parts and on the track and causes heavy wear and tear. Okay, so the maintenance of track becomes very difficult. Okay, and also we can and also the sand ballast is sometimes covered with a layer of stone or brick or some such materials to prevent it from blowing about too much. Okay, so we can also so to prevent this or to overcome its advantage, we can also cover a layer of stone or brick or some such materials which will prevent the sand from blowing. Okay, which will prevent the sand from blowing. Okay, so the generally the coarse sand is preferred to fine sand. Okay, and the best sand consists of a good quantity of fine gravel and sand which is used on narrow gauge tracks. Okay, so generally sand is used as ballast in case of narrow gauge tracks. Okay, and we generally prefer the coarse sand rather than fine sand. Okay, the next come to moram. Okay, so moram is the soft aggregate and is the result of decomposition of laterite and has a red or sometimes a yellow color. Okay, so moram is the soft aggregate which is developed due to the decomposition of laterite and its color is red or sometimes its color is yellow. Okay, so the best moram for ballast is that which contains large quantities of small laterite stone. Okay, so it is recommended as a ballast for sidings and main tracks when they are newly laid and the embankments are not sufficiently consolidated. Okay, the next come to conker. Okay, so conker is a lime agglomerate. Okay, it is a product of lime which is common in certain clay soils and is generally dug out of the ground. Okay, so where stone is not easily available, where the broken stone is not easily available, the conker is used as road material and as ballast for railway track. Okay, so it is generally soft in nature and reduces to powder under loads. Okay, so it is used for meter gauge and narrow gauge tracks with light traffic and where a better type of the ballast is not available. Okay, so where the broken stone is not available or a better type of ballast is not available, we can use this type of conker as ballast. Okay, but its main disadvantage is as it is very soft in nature, it reduces to powder under loads. That means it will make the track dusty. Okay, which is not the desirable requirement for our railway track. Okay, so in worst case only we will use this type of material as ballast in case of railway track. Okay, then next come to brick ballast. Okay, so where no stone or substitute is available for use as ballast, then overburnt bricks are broken into small sizes and they are used for ballast. Okay, they are used as ballast. Okay, so if in any place no stone or any substitute is available for use as ballast, then in that case we can break the overburnt bricks into small sizes and we can use that as ballast in case of railway track. Okay, but it has also same disadvantage that it powders easily and produces a dusty track. Okay, so rails of track laid on brick ballast many a time get corrugated. Okay, this is also another disadvantage, that it has also corrosive quality. Okay, so brick ballast however is fairly good for drainage. Okay, so but somehow it has a good quality, that is it is very good for drainage. Okay, so this much all about brick ballast. Okay, so this much all about today's lecture. In the next lecture we will discuss about the fasteners. Okay, about the fasteners which connect a rail to another rail, and about the fasteners which connect the rails to the slipper. Okay, thank you.